Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, for these occasions, I would like to make a video. Uh, this is about reviewing and explaining about the journal. I got this journal from Google Scholarship. Google Scholar, sorry. The title of this journal, is a pragmatic analysis of speech aids used by English lecturers in language teaching at STKIV YDB Lubuk Alung. STKIP YDB Lubuk Alung. Okay. This research was intended to describe the types of speech aids performed by English lecturer in STKIP YDB Lubuk Alung, of course. This research was descriptive qualitative. The data of this research were the English U-turns performed by English lecturer. So, the author of this journal is Siska Okta Widya. She was analyzing the lecturer from SKIP. She got the utterance from her teacher, from her lecturer. She collected the data from them. So, before I explain about the results and discussion about the data analyzing, I would like to introduce the Pragmatic course. Pragmatic course is a part of linguistics which deals with meaning in context. In other words, pragmatic can also be defined as the study of the relationship between the linguistic form or structure that we can say and the user of the form. Pragmatic essentially deals with the use of the language in the context. In English teaching and learning, it is clearly realized by the implementations of the language function in the material. So that is the definitions of pragmatic. Actually, this is pragmatic is used by Siska Okta as a course for making this journal. So we take a look to the method. She used a qualitative descriptive method. According to Sudaryanto, descriptive research is based on the fact or phenomena of the speakers. Speech is on one area. In line with this, Salfilia argues that the descriptive research is analyze the data based on material obtained without adding or reducing the data in this research. And this research tries to describe and analyze the data from the phase of collecting data, the preparation of data, and analysis. So from his collecting data, from her collecting data, we can see to the result. These data findings are related to the types of speech act performed by the English lecturer during the English teaching and learning process. So Siska was collecting data from her lecturer during her studying. During the class, she got a lot of utterance from her lecturer. So she classifies a speech acts into 5 categories. The first is representative, directive, expressive, commissive, and declarations. However, the findings show that there were only 4 types of speech acts performed by the English lecturer, namely representative, directive, expressive, and commissive. The distribution of speech acts performed by the English lecturer is illustrated in the table. So, Siska was conclude his collected data and can make a conclusion from this table. Let me see. Here are the type of speech acts. There is declarative, representative, expressive, directive, and commissive. So for the analyzing, Siska has what is that? Wait. Has divide the data into two parts. The first is frequency and the second one is percentage. So here are declarative. You can see the frequency is 0, so and percentage is 0 too. So there is a declarative utterance from her lecturer. So the second one is representative. Here are 63 frequency for the frequency, and for the percentage is 30%. And the third one is expressives. She got 23 frequency from expressive utterance, and the percentage of expressive she got 11. And the directive, the frequency is 111, and about the percentage is 53. And the last one is commissive. She got 11 for frequency, and the percentage is 5%. So for overall, from her analyzing to the lecturer utterance, is for the frequency is 208 and the percentage is 100%. So guys, the table is showing that there are 4 types of serial speech act performed by the English lecturer during the English teaching and learning process. They were representative, directive, expressive, and commissive that I mentioned and explained before, whereas declarations were not utilized by the lecturer. Furthermore, the table points out that the most dominant speech act used by the lecturer was directive, with 101 instances, which represent 48% out of the total number of utterance. Okay, so let's move to the discussions. Based on the finding, the data, there were 4 kinds of speech acts performed by the English lecturer during 4 meetings of the English teaching and learning process. They were representative, directive, expressive, and commissive. These types of speech acts are proposed by Scar, who puts emphasis on the speech act. Directive became the most dominant speech act utilized by the lecturer because during the process of English teaching and learning, the teachers often ask the student to do something. It is in line with the notions of directive speech act, which are concerned with getting hearers to undertake some actions for speakers. So let's look to the example for the data that was collected by Siska or the author. Here, the data L231. Maybe this letter or L is represented about the lecturer and S is student. So this is the data. This is the utterance Siska from Siska that she gets from her class. So we can see and we can read the utterance. Okay, class, who have finished our first topic or basic competence that is about politeness, right? Now, our agenda is that we will learn about utterance implicator. Perhaps you find it in your daily life, even when you converse with your friends. Let me take example. I see you wear your new glasses. Did I say something? Are you? Oh, what are new glasses? Thank you. And the student said. As presented in the bold expressions, the lecturer informed the students that they had finished their previous material about the politeness in English. Now, the lecturer was willing to continue the topic about expressing implicator or language function in speaking English. Those bold expressions are informing because they contain information related to the past and future activities done by the student in teaching learning process. That is the first data, and the second one is lecturer said, next chapter we will discuss your exercise about noun phrase. Please read. For you that have book, there are 6 types of noun phrase. Read Nurjani number 1. I saw a bird fly high, that the student said. So the bold expression is classified as informing because it contains information for the students concerning what the class will do, that they were going to discuss the exercise about noun phrase, other informations. Okay, so all this data is represented to representative speech act. So we're next to expressive. We can take a look to expressive act. Expressive act deal with the statement of speaker's feeling or attitude of particular situation. Based on the research result, expressives are in the third rank of speech act. Frequency found in classroom communication in English teaching learn process. Okay, see, you can see to the data. Lecturer said, good morning everybody. Good morning, miss. How are you today? So far so good, miss. Nah, this shows by the bold utterance in datum. The lecturer replied expression good morning, student. This expression is a greeting used to greet people in the morning from 00 to 12. As the English lesson started at 10, the lecturer applied these greeting expressions. The student responded to the lecturer with the same expressions, good morning. Leave taking is expressed by the speaker to close a conversations in teaching learning process. The lecturer supplies these functions in the end of the lessons to close the lesson. Okay, that's for the expressive. Now we move to the directive. Directive are speech aids used by speaker to get something done. Okay, we take a look to the data. Look at the example. I am hoping for good weather tomorrow. Hope plus for plus noun phrases. Good weather tomorrow. Number 2, I'm hoping for a good grade in English. Good grade. Good grade. Okay. The bold expression in datum, we can see that is obviously a commanding function. The expressions look at the example is created by means of imperative forms for one plus object or adverb. That is the basic formula in performing a commanding function. The reason of the lecturer perform this function was to order the student to look at the example shown in the textbook. We move to commissive. Commissive are those kinds of speech acts performed by speakers to commit themselves to future actions. We can take a look to the data. Understand? Lecturer said, Dimas, do you understand? Yes. Dimas said, or should I change into Indonesian? The lecturer expression in these U-turns indicates that the lecturer performs an act of offering. In performing the act, she used interrogative mood. This is similar to the case of request, but in the case of offering, it is the speaker who will undertake the actions. In this case, the teacher offered to change her utterance into Indonesian. So that is the example of commissive, and the data that has been collected by the author. So we can make a conclusions about this journal or this research is concerned with the pragmatic analysis of speech act used by the English lecturer in the teaching learning process at STKIP YDB Lubuk Alung. To identify speech acts used by English lecturer in classroom conversations, the research result can be concluded as follows. There are 4 types that I mentioned before and explained before. There are 4. There are expressive, directive, representative, and commissive. The declarative did not find. The author didn't find the representative. Oh wait, the declarative. The declarative speech act. She didn't find it from her lecturer, but the third one, the third, another third, she got like expressive, directive, commissive, representative. So maybe that is the review of this journal. Maybe thanks for watching. The last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.